Hey there, Danny here. Welcome to my ramblings. So I had my appointment today. Really not going to discuss much about that because it's just therapy. It's just treatment that I go to regularly. Anyways, I don't have a car yet, so I've been taking a Lyft that the doctor's office provides. There and back. And the Lyft driver that I had today when I was heading back to the doctor was a very nice guy. We had a great, wonderful conversation. I thoroughly enjoyed chatting with him. He kind of threw me off though, because we got to talking about my RV. It started with my accident, everything like that. And we got into the whole RV discussion, and at the end he goes, "So it's just you and your dogs?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "No husband, no kids, no boyfriend?" I said, "Nope, just me and the dogs." He goes, "That is pretty cool." Threw me off. When he said it, I was like, "Yeah, it is just me. It's been me for a while." I don't know, I guess I don't think about it that often, but the conversation kind of threw me off. Anyways, on the way home, I had a different Lyft driver. He was very nice too. Most of the Lyft drivers I've dealt with are pretty nice. Everybody drives a little bit differently. And I wanted to talk about trust. And the biggest problem with going back to dating for me, not now, but before, and the reason I avoided it was because I was terrified that I would have trust issues. And I wasn't sure how to get past them. Well, today when I was driving home with the Lyft driver, his name was Jose, I got to thinking about what I told my kids. So my oldest son, I taught my oldest son how to drive. My youngest son learned how to drive from his dad. I remember when I told my oldest son when he first started to drive, I said, "You don't have to trust the other drivers, you have to trust yourself. You have to know your capabilities and be confident in the moves that you're going to make." So here in the Phoenix area, they drive like lunatics here, and nobody wants to let you in when you turn on your turn signal, and merging sucks, and nobody knows how to take turns here. So I told my son, I said, when you're on the freeway and it's busy, I said, you turn that signal on, you make your look, and you go. I said, if you hesitate, you're not going to get over. I said, you have to have confidence and trust in yourself. Well, today driving home from the doctor, I started to realize I have driven once. No, I take that back. I've driven 2 or 3 times since my accident, and they were all just test drives from vehicles that I was looking at. But I've not actually been out driving. I don't have a car. So you're dependent on these strangers to drive you. And majority of them are good drivers, and they're cautious and they watch. And then you get a few that are kind of a little like, make you cringe a little bit, but it is what it is. I've made it back and forth safely. But it got me to thinking about trust. And I realized this probably about a year ago, that I don't have to trust the other person. I don't have to worry about having trust issues with the other person, because I don't have to, their trust, my trust in them has to be earned, just like respect does. I have to trust in me. I have to trust in my ability to know when I need to walk away, and to have the confidence and the courage and the strength to do it. And in the past 3 years of this being single and loving myself and finding my true authentic self, I've learned that I can trust myself. I'm confident enough to walk away, and I know that I will be okay. Trust is earned based on the fact that the person's consistent. They're consistent about things with you. You don't catch them in a lot of little white lies. You don't catch them in fakeness. And you can, once you get to loving yourself and your true authentic self, you can see it. It's weird. It's almost like you're a human lie detector, because you can see the change. And I've been watching Super Nanny the past couple of days. I get very bored here by myself with the animals. I do have the neighbors, but they have jobs and they have their own lives, so it's not like I'm always with them constantly. Majority of the people that are here at this RV park, are they live here. Some of them travel, but majority of them live here. And the thing that, watching the Super Nanny, the thing that I realized is consistency is key. And she talks about when she's trying to explain to parents that are putting their kids in timeout that they have to use a firm, assertive tone, and have confidence behind that tone when they're speaking certain things to their children, so the children know that when this tone happens. So years ago, that was a thing with my kids and I when they were growing up, is the tone was important. If I said things in a certain tone, they knew that this could be very bad for them if they didn't listen. And that wasn't necessarily getting in trouble with me, but that was running around in a parking lot without holding on to my hand, or things like that. And I would always use a very firm, assertive tone with them. And I didn't sugarcoat anything with them. Some people thought I was crazy with how I did some of the stuff. But that's okay. I didn't really care. It was about me raising my kids my way. But the tone is important. And I don't think that we pay attention to other people's tone very much. I am very in tune to people's tone. I can tell when it changes, even the slightest bit. I think a lot of that comes down to how I was raised as a child. But once you find your true authentic self and you love yourself, it's almost like you're a damn human lie detector. You can tell the tone or the inflection or anything else that changes in the way the person's talking to you. You don't even have to be looking at them and watching verbal or visual cues. You can just hear it. You can hear that something has changed. And the more in tune you are with yourself, and the more you learn to trust yourself and have your self-confidence, you don't have to be so concerned with people as much, because you know that when that time comes and they show themselves, you're going to see it immediately. So I think that they teach us, and I hate to go back to it, but it really comes down to media, movies, TV, all the rest of this stuff. They talk about trust, that we're supposed to just have it. That's not so. And the truth is, trust is earned by consistent behavior, by consistently showing that you're a decent human being and you're loyal and you're real. However, in order to not be so afraid to trust other people, you have to trust yourself. And once you learn to trust yourself, which comes with finding your true authentic self and loving yourself, once you trust yourself, you don't question whether you can trust other people or not. You do question in the beginning whether you can trust yourself, because it's new to you. Once you learn and you go through these different things and you see that, okay, yeah, I didn't trust that, I knew I shouldn't have, I kind of backed away and observed and I was right. Once you learn that and you learn to trust yourself, it doesn't matter what other people do. The only person that you're in control of is you. And the only trust that you have to be concerned with is you trusting yourself and your own abilities. And there are times where I'm in the lift with somebody and I'm a little concerned because their driving's scaring me a little bit. And then I just say to myself, well, God's got me, and He'll get me where I need to go safely. If not, then it's what He wished to happen. The truth is, trust, you only have to trust you. Once you learn to trust yourself and you have your own self-confidence and you love yourself and you're your true authentic self, you don't have to worry about trusting other people. They will show their true colors really quickly, and you will notice it. And you'll notice that these things happen in the beginning. Like I said before, they're like big red flags. Like it seems like it's louder in your brain than everything else, but it's not. Once you get acclimated to it and understand that you can trust yourself and you can trust your intuition, then you don't have to worry about trusting other people again. If they're going to prove to you that they're not trustworthy, then you know that that's who they are. And you're not hurt and upset by it anymore. I mean, you might be a little disappointed, but you're like, well, that's where they're at in their journey, and they're not at my energetic level, so I just got to keep going. And slowly but surely, people come into your life that are at your energetic level, or that want to learn to get to your energetic level. And once you learn that the trust and everything else that you thought you needed in the outside world is actually what you need inside of you. So once you learn to trust yourself and you have self-confidence and self-esteem, you don't worry about those things anymore. You don't really care about what anybody on the outside thinks, because really their opinion of you is none of your business. The only reason they're giving an opinion of you is because they're jealous. They're not where you're at. And misery loves company. We've had these discussions in some of the other videos. But I really just wanted to talk to you about trust and how you are capable of trusting yourself, and you're able to see things clearly. And you know you can trust yourself and your intuition and your instincts, and life becomes so much easier and so much nicer. So I hope you all learn how to trust yourself. Big part of trusting yourself is you really have to look at yourself. Looking at yourself is not an easy thing. It's a very long, lonely road, and you really have to learn to forgive yourself. You can't forgive other people until you learn to forgive yourself. You can't love other people until you learn to love yourself. You can't trust other people until you learn to trust yourself. The key takeaway from all of these videos and us building this beautiful soul tribe is you. You have to get to loving yourself and your true authentic self, and the world opens up. And it's a beautiful place, and your life changes drastically. So with that said, I hope you join along and enjoy the videos. If you have anything that you want to discuss or anything, feel free to contact me. Again, if you're struggling, I'm here. I'm glad to run scenarios with you or anything else. Reach out if you need to. If not, I hope that you're doing a great job on your journey. And if you're lonely and you're stuck on it, feel free to reach out, because I know what that's like. I've been there. So I'm here. I hope that you get to loving yourself, trusting yourself, and believing in yourself. Bye guys. I'll see you in a day or two. Love ya.